Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. First things first, Happy New Year! Yes, it's 2025. Whew. Well, I'm excited about this year, but at the same time, there's a lot of work to be done. But I know God will take me through, and I trust myself to be responsible enough to handle the work. And I trust you too to be responsible enough to take actions and handle the work that you have written down in forms of goals, ambitions, and every other thing that you've written down for yourself. So, I know you're so pumped about the new year and what it has to offer, mostly when it concerns your graduate degree. Yes, you heard me right. For those of you who want to pursue a master's degree or PhD degree and you are planning towards it, I've done the first video talking about how to look for schools, and this second video is specifically targeted at addressing every questions that I've gotten on funding and how to email graduate coordinator. So we'll pick up from where we left off. I know this video is long overdue, and I'm going to do everything possible to make it as detailed and as simple as possible so you're able to follow suit. I'm so sorry for taking this long to film this video. A lot of things just happened in the process, but I'm back now. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So, first things first. See, I had taken our time to not just talk about this, but to also pen them down. Yeah, do my research. So I'm giving more detailed information that will be helpful to anyone who come across this video and may want to know more about funding and how it goes, and also how to email graduate coordinators with your specific questions and what to expect and how to move from there. So the first things first that we will be addressing, or I will be talking about, is the funding. So let's talk about funding, right? What are the fundings that are available? What is even funding? Why are we, so hyped about funding? Funding is basically coming to school. I don't want to use the word for free, but for lack of a better word, for free. While the school or an organization or a different body takes care of the fee, and all you need to do is study and earn that degree so that you'll be able to, meet the criteria maybe set by the organization or the school, basically. Now, there are several schools that have funding for their graduate programs, and it is open to different people ranging from international students. For myself, I'm an international student, and I'll give you backstory on how I got funding for my program and the type of funding that I am on currently. Some get what we call full funding, and full funding includes them covering your monthly stipend, which is you get to do maybe like a teaching assistant or a research assistant, and you get paid every month so that you can keep up with bills, buy stuff, just like more like a salary structure, but for those who are doing like research assistant or graduate assistant. And by graduate assistantship, I mean teaching assistant. That is, you teach and then you get paid for that. So that covers the expenses, and sometimes they also cover your health insurance, but not maybe fully, but some schools do fully, some do 85%, some may do 50%, depending on the discretion of the department. And then there's something called partial funding. And partial funding is maybe they get to cover your tuition and they don't cover your health insurance and they don't pay stipends, right? Or they cover maybe 50% of your school fees and you have to pay 50% of the fees, or 85% of your fees, depending on the variation the program has to offer. So there's full funding and there's partial funding, and most times people do want the full funding that covers stipend and also covers your tuition and every other expenses that comes with it. And how do you get to know about funding? Some schools are generous enough, maybe not generous. Some schools put those information on their website. Refer back to my other video to talk about how to navigate through of the website, basically like searching for schools. On those websites, when you take your time to go through them, you tend to find programs that are fully funded, clearly stated there. And then for programs that are not clearly stated there, that's where emailing the graduate coordinator comes into play. So most graduate programs are usually funded. You would maybe on a scale of 100%, you'd only find maybe 20% of programs that are not usually funded. So some departments have different kind of funding, and it varies. Maybe the STEM program will have more funding than the management programs or the education program, depending on what the school really holds on to. And that's not to say that all schools fund graduate program. You just have to ensure that the kind of schools you're looking for, if you want full funding or partial funding, is in that regard. So for me, I have a partial funding, and this covers a large part of my fees, my school fee, my tuition, and so I have to take care of living expenses and also my health insurance. This is quite specific to my department, right? And my school, maybe, but not to every program. So it depends on the kind of schools that you're going with and what they have to offer. And hence, I have an on-campus job that helps me to take care of like living expenses and other things that come with it. So for me personally, what do I do to kind of stay afloat? I also apply for scholarships to tend to cover for my health insurance and other things that I need to pay for. However, there are other master's programs that have full funding options. All you need to do is look for it and look for what works best for you and the type of program that the school has to offer. Another type of funding that people use is getting loans or going through organizations, right? There are loan organizations that are specifically targeted to helping graduate students. That is, once you get your application through the school, you get the admission, you can apply for loans and then you begin to pay back gradually. And then the organizations that tend to fund everything, and all you need to do is attend schools with certain clauses. You have to meet those criteria. For instance, there's a program called the Chevney program, which is almost everywhere, right? There is MasterCard Foundation, and I think there is, I'm forgetting one other organization that kind of sponsors people to go to school, and they fund your schooling. All you need to do also is take out time to research. Ochandi has a clause that is you have to have like 2 years of working experience, and you must ensure that you're returning back to your country. Obama Foundation has similar things where they bring people to the US to also go to school, and then with the requirement of you going back to your country. Sorry for the background noise. My heater just came on. Yeah, it's quite cold, so it comes on at intervals. Yeah. Let me go back to what I was saying. So I was trying to explain the other type of funding in the sense that it depends on what the organization is willing to do. So there are several organizations out there that provide full funding, full scholarships for people to attend schools. Another place that makes it easy to find funding is Opportunity Desk, opportunities for youth. I can never overemphasize those two pages on Instagram, on Telegram, on Twitter. I don't know, just check. You would find them, not Twitter, X. You would always find scholarships that are fully funded. Trust me, if you open that website today on your browser and you just go through the page, you will see a lot of funded scholarships, fully funded, that you can apply for. So those places provide you with opportunities to also just get the right information and say, this school is having has full funding, so I'm going to apply straight up. But if you don't go through that route and you're specific about certain schools that you want, ensure that you go through their website to know the kind of funding that they have. However, if you do not find those funding options there, this is where graduate coordinators come into play, right? And who are graduate coordinators? They are simply those that are in charge of students who want to apply to graduate programs, be it a PhD or a master's program. And basically, what's their job role, their job description for you is the fact that they have information, and you'd want to reach out to them so you can get more information, because that's what they are there for, to interact with you. And what are the common mistakes that you should avoid? Number one, some of you need to change your email name. All these something cool at gmail.com, things that when somebody sees, like, okay, is that your real name? Please let that end in 2024. Ensure you have a proper email address that when they see, they can attribute the fact that it is somebody that has these two names and it's not a nickname. Do not use your nicknames. As much as you can, try to avoid that. Number two is, don't bore them with story of your life when you're trying to just ask simple questions. Go straight to the point. Make it as brief, concise as possible, because you're not the only one trying to get their attention. Number three is, you don't go through the website and you're asking them questions that have already been addressed on the website. Please do not do that. You kind of just tires people, because if I'm a graduate coordinator and you do that, I don't think I'm going to respond. Yeah, because it's already answered. So why didn't you look through before coming to ask me questions? There's certain things they would expect you to do. You've done your assignment, hence you just need more information and clarity on certain things that you've seen, hence why you're emailing them. And please ensure that you are specific and focused. Let the email not be too long, so that they're able to just take it in and address the questions. And I'll add a template of what I had sent to some of the graduate coordinators when I was applying to my program, for you to see what I am talking about. And if you want more details, you can just drop it in the comment section, or I'll drop my email somewhere. You can just email me and then I can forward the template to you. And summary of everything that I've been talking about is the fact that funding are available. All you need to do is research. I keep talking about the responsibility that you have to play, because that's where the bulk of the work is. When you want to look for funding, the school's website is usually something with that information, and if it is not there, you can also ask the graduate coordinator, like I had explained. Number two is, funding can also be gotten through other organizations, like the Chevney that I had mentioned, or MasterCard, a program, or different programs that are out there that you can even see on Opportunity Desk and Opportunities for Youth and all of those platforms that have, scholarships options. That's another place to get funding. And then if you want to go through the route of getting a loan, that's also another way of getting funding. But personally, I do not really advise that, but if that's the option you want to use, also available. The most popular is Empower, and they give you funding options and time to be able to pay the money back. And then what other funding options? Yes, maybe you got a sponsor, like an organization sponsoring you. It's also a type of funding. And then why do we talk about graduate coordinators? It's because they have access to information that you may need, or you want clarity on certain things that you've seen on the school's website and you want them to help you with it. I hope this video has been able to answer the questions of funding and emailing graduate coordinators. And if I didn't touch on any area, please do well to drop it in the comment section, and I'll definitely address your questions. Thank you so much, guys, and bye. See you in the next video.